Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchant here with your outlook for February 28th, 2018. For the final day of the month, we're going to have partly cloudy skies in the morning and then increasing clouds this afternoon, and that will become overcast overnight in many areas. So you'll see a little bit of sun early on, then those clouds increase this afternoon and cloudy overnight. And this is all ahead of our next system, which will be moving in for Thursday, and mainly during the afternoon hours on Thursday. We're going to get into that system in a bit. This could be a high impact event, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as it was originally projected earlier in the week. But there are some areas that are going to see some heavy rain and some gusty winds out of this, and even some snow in a few areas. We'll get to that in this video as well. Here's later on Wednesday. Again, you're increasing clouds and cloudy overnight. Maybe just some spotty drizzle in spots. I wouldn't be surprised to see that, but I think most areas are just cloudy overnight. And then here is the primary low moving through the Ohio Valley. We'll set up over eastern Ohio here by the time we get to Thursday evening. We will have some rain that's going to move out ahead of it, and that is going to come in during the afternoon hours and continue through the evening, it looks like. There will be some periods where it is heavy as it rolls through, and this is heavy rain, not snow at this point. Now, once the primary runs into the block to the north, it is going to form a secondary out here over the ocean, and that is going to take over as the new primary, and the old primary is going to consolidate in with this one here. Now, kind of an elongated low look here. Oops, let me get rid of that here. Kind of an elongated low look out here to the far east, and there was also, you can see the isobars are kind of pointed in this direction. This is an inverted trough that's setting up here now. Yesterday we were talking about a cold conveyor belt, and this is now looking more like an inverted trough setting up over a portion of the area. Now you can see the axis of this is a little bit more up to the north, like this. Okay, that's where the inverted trough is set up. This is actually the furthest southwest of any model that ran today. Most of the inverted troughs that I've seen today are more up in this direction here, which is a big difference in terms of placement with impacts to our area, and whether or not you see a changeover to rain from rain to snow under that inverted trough where the heaviest dynamics will be. So I do think most areas remain rain. Probably about 80% of our coverage area will remain rain, cold rain at that. But then once this system really starts cranking offshore, take a look at these isobars here, how closely packed together they are. This indicates some very gusty winds, and we're expecting winds that are going to be sustained for a time on Friday morning, especially 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 miles per hour in spots. Not out of the question. All right, and it's not like one of those deals where the further inland you're getting less. I think it's pretty much all the area is going to see that potential, but the greatest potential will be closest to the shore points where these isobars are tightest on Friday morning. But then once we get into later in the day, in the evening, you see the isobars are still kind of tightly packed here, so it's not going to go away overnight. We're still going to be breezy as it would turn out overnight as this system continues to ramp up offshore, but you can see the precipitation is going to shut off as we head toward the evening hours on Friday. So let's get over the NAM high-res feature simulator radar. Start this off at 10 o'clock on Thursday. Now this is looking at a preliminary look at this because this is a long range high kilometer NAM here, so this is just the first time this has really come into range for the entire system. This has us starting off here in the early to mid afternoon hours from southwest to northeast. So here's a look at 4 p.m. on Thursday. The NAM is trying to rush this along here, so by the time we get to the evening, we get into some heavy rain. You can see that here. In the late evening, you're still all rain across the entire coverage area. But then, as we get into just past midnight, you see some changeover to snow along the closest to that inverted trough, and that is going to be across the far northern counties of Pennsylvania. We don't have a lot of county coverage up in this area, but we do have a few counties that we cover from Bradford on eastward to Wayne, and it's now indicating that at least that there is some mixing or a changeover of snow occurring at this point. And then once we get to 4 a.m. on Friday, this is the furthest extent that the NAM has the snow. Now this can change because this has been changed over the last several runs here, but you see the 32 degree line is well to the north, so probably only accumulating in the higher elevations for the most part, but most of these areas here north of this area are at least now seeing snow in the blue. Where it's accumulating greatest, though, would be in the areas of elevation. So up here, we have some pretty high elevations right here, of course. Eastern eastern Luzerne County, also here by Mount Pocono. There's going to be some pretty good accumulations there, I think, once this changeover occurs, because the areas of elevation are going to change over quicker. So I don't expect this to be a big deal in the valleys, and probably just some slushy accumulations there. Further south, I could even see some mixing with snow, probably pretty far south, coming all the way down to here. This is a mixed to snow area. But I would actually include accumulations going into Sussex County, New Jersey, because we have some high elevations there. But this all in here is probably just, you might see some snowflakes mixing in Friday morning, but I don't see much going on there, okay, if that makes any sense. Now, we're going to fine-tune this, of course, and we're going to have some, take a look at some new model guidance here with the 12Z runs on Wednesday, and that we'll have a first call out later this afternoon at 5 p.m. That's when we're projecting to have the first call at 5 p.m. But right now, our biggest concern for this area is going to be the rain. That's going to be generally an inch to inch and a half across the coverage area, some locally higher amounts than that. But again, the snow areas are probably going to be up here, in the higher elevations, and that's probably in these areas right here. This is probably anywhere that could see accumulating snow, favoring the higher elevations up here in northeastern Pennsylvania to see some of those the greater amounts of accumulation. So wherever you have the elevations above 12 to 1,500 feet, I think you can see some pretty decent amounts of accumulation there, but primarily a rain event for everywhere else. And of course, it's going to get windy on Friday, again with the isobars close together with this bombing system offshore. But then this will finally start to pull away. Still going to be kind of breezy on Saturday morning, at least to start. You see the isobars are still tightly together, so we'll have a breezy day here yet on Saturday. Winds coming out of the north, and then I think they're going to finally slacken down a little bit here by the time we get to Sunday. So Sunday will be the better of the 2 days, but we are expecting a dry weekend. Call it partly cloudy here on Saturday, and then mostly sunny on Sunday, and the same thing here on Monday with high pressure and control over weather. We will have another system that's going to be moving in from the west. This could bring a few rain or snow showers by the time we get to the middle of next week. This is going to be the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Earlier projections of a big storm here coming up the coast here have backed off, but that doesn't mean it's gone away entirely. It could be something to watch here in that time frame between the 6th and 7th for something to develop. But right now, most models are suggesting just a frontal passage with a few light rain and or snow showers. Okay, so that's for next Tuesday. Again, we're going to be following this system closely for the potential for a high impact system affecting our region, and that's going to be starting Thursday afternoon and going through probably Friday morning. It's uncertain whether or not it's going to be ending early like the NAM has it on Friday morning, or if it lingers into the afternoon and early evening like some of the global models have it. We'll continue to follow that progress of that timing and see where its inverted trough sets up. Right now, everything's looking like it's going to be a pretty good hit for southern New England, from mainly over New York State. New York State gets it pretty good here, and maybe parts of far northern Pennsylvania, maybe clipping northeastern Pennsylvania and northwestern New Jersey with some accumulating snow in the higher elevations. But other than that, expect a pretty good storm, but a rainstorm for most areas on Thursday and Friday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for February 28th, 2018. Have a great Wednesday.